Welcome to Design, Build, Style. I'm Blake Paulson from the Maryland Design Group. This is the first program in our Kitchen and Bath Design series. Our guest today is Beth Reyeur, who works with me at the Maryland Design Group as a kitchen and design specialist. Let's go to the showroom for an inside look at what to expect from start to finish.
Okay, today we're going to go over Cabinetry 101. We're going to discuss the economical cabinets versus the high-end cabinets, and is there really a quality difference in what you get. First step most people try to look at is, what is the box construction? That's something everybody should know, because one cabinet box versus another cabinet box is totally different. The standard construction that you're normally going to get with most semi-custom cabinets or stock cabinets is called a composite panel or a MDF board or a particle board application for the sidewall. They come in different thicknesses, 3/8 inch, 1/2 inch, and 3/4. And of course that's good, better, and best for the particle board version of the theme. There's pros and cons or benefits to it. It's very durable in the long end as far as heft and weight and what it can hold, because it's glued together. But the downside to it is that if it does get wet, expansion and contraction is the downfall. So if you're dealing with sinks, base cabinets, or in a bath cabinet area, you most of the time will go to the next level, which is your all plywood construction, which is considered the upper end or top notch version of the theme for your sidewalls or your box construction itself. There's different layers of plywood that are in there, and how thick will determine the overall strength and durability of that box. It's considered an all wood box even though it's made of plywood, because typically with plywood they apply an actual wood veneer to the sides of the cabinets, again giving it the feel of a real cabinet, all solid wood. Now, after we go over and decide which level that you want with regards to your box construction, because you may just have a straight run that's up against a wall that's not holding a huge piece of granite by itself. A lot of times I design cabinets in the middle of the island with all plywood construction, because when you screw them together, it holds together, versus a particle board which can pull off, or you do floor blocking in order to accommodate for that. Less expensive or more economical with particle board, all plywood, you start going up in price. But it's not a radical jump. It's typically about 10 to 25% of an upcharge, depending on the overall construction or thickness that you desire. The next thing we're going to look at is the fronts. Most cabinet companies offer a solid wood door or a door with a veneer panel that's built in. I can grab one. You're going to have your stile and rail, and this interior panel here typically is going to be a veneer on top of MDF. That's cost savings. Looks great, you still get wood and a solid wood side panel to be attached to a solid wood frame front. Now, as you open up the drawer glides here, you have your solid wood frame that your door is attached to, and you have your drawers that are inserted. And there's, of course, different quality and grades as far as drawers are concerned as well. You have your standard contractor grade stuff, which you'll see in your stock cabinets most of the time, or most all the time, and occasionally on your semi-custom cabinets. That's totally for cost relevance with regards to the project overall budget. The thickness of your box itself plays in a role as well, anywhere between, again, 3/8, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, to even 7/8 thick is what I've seen. But for your contractor grade, a lot of times it's going to be, sometimes they even use the particle board or MDF box stapled and are glued together, and they use a little bit lower grade version of a poly-coated or coated aluminum rail. And if I can take this guy out, it has your vinyl rollers. Long term, 5-10 years down the road, it will get worn and used up and get a little bit wiggly. Those are the things that you look for. So if you have a rough and tumble home and you have 3-year-olds that tend to hang on things, this might not be the drawer option you're looking for. Now the next level up is the coveted dovetail type of joinery with drawer boxes. This is kind of like a set it, forget it option. You're going to get a high quality, high durability box. But as you see, these glides are underneath are going to be the undermount, still the coated aluminum with the vinyl rollers, so you're not necessarily breaking your budget, but you get something that's a little bit stronger. So, if you're trying to save some pennies to put it on something else like a granite top, that's a great option, but you're still getting some durability. Now the creme de la creme, which is everybody wants and is dying for these days, is a full extension dovetail runner drawer box. And as you see, you have your stainless steel ball bearing runner system, all steel, heavy duty. This box is usually rated for about 75 pounds. And that's an awesome box. And it's quite close. So it's no slam. So if you have somebody in a house that is up early in the morning and you're not, they can go and fix their meals for the day. They're not slamming things on you. Kind of like this guy down here. So for their smasher and bashers in the morning, we all have one or two of those in the family. Full extension dovetail drawer box with quiet close is an awesome amenity, plus the fact that the durability factor. I mean, who wants a box that's going to hold 75 pounds? I don't know what you're going to put in it, but drawers get used all the time. So you're looking long-term, long durability, tough and quiet, has like that nice access. Dovetail drawer box, but we want to save a little bit more pennies to spread it around. So go with the standard undermount glide versus the full extension. And then if you really need to go economical, if you're doing rental units or something that you know you're not living with barbarians, that to save the monies for something that looks good, but the drawer box is a little bit less quality and you don't necessarily want to worry about it, this construction grade is probably your best option. Now after you establish your box for your budget, is that more important to you, or if you like the fact that, hey, you know what, I'll get the particle board, but I want to upgrade the drawer box because I really am a true chef and I'm in there all the time. Then it's a matter of taking a look at the inside of the cabinets and the interior amenities. Rollout trays, great feature, and there's different versions of the theme. You have your standard rollout tray, again with aluminum glides, and then there are some high-end or other options that you can put in there that are all wood, dovetail, full extension, drawer glide runner systems to, again, take it up a notch with regards to what your needs are in the kitchen. And then once you figure that out, you're pretty much good to go to the next step, whereas we can sit down and look at the catalog and choose from tons of different amenities to really personalize your kitchen for your needs. But the first cost savings that you're going to take in effect is going to be particle board versus plywood. And your plywood upgrade usually is 10 to 20% of the cost of the cabinet. So as we're designing and going through things, we give you a little snapshot of the budget and say, hey, you know what? That 10% that I'm going to save on the plywood, I'm going to put in some interior amenities instead. That's a decision that you can make, but we're always here to help you out. Okay, the next phase of the cabinet selection and identifying what your needs, wants, and desires are is really about establishing your style. And sometimes by doing so, you can also have some cost savings with just a couple different changes. When we're dealing with framed cabinets, as you see, the face frame itself, you're going to have your door attached to the frame, and there's a couple different looks. This is considered a partial overlay or half overlay door style, meaning that you see some of the reveal of the frame. By doing this, or choosing this particular door, this door is going to be a little bit less expensive, little bit more budget friendly than a full overlay door. Also, by choosing this door style, instead of a full overlay or a frameless cabinet, you're creating a more traditional look. So you can get a contemporary feel, but a little more traditional or casual look with this particular styling, which is again, your half overlay or partial overlay door. As you see, the top of the drawer head is a slab drawer front. Some people like to opt for a drawer front that matches the actual door profile itself. And that's either considered a 5-piece or decorative drawer front. That's an upgrade or an option typically with most of the vendors. So you really need to take a look at your overall budget and see what you want to do, or just it's a style decision of, hey, you know what? It's a little bit much too busy with having these two match on a run. You might get too many drawer heads that replicate this. So throwing a couple slabs in, or make it all slabs, it really affects the overall look. And that's what we go over and discuss in the design, and I'll show you on the computer renderings so you have an idea or feel. All right, this is a full overlay version of the same door style we took a look at before, a partial overlay to a full. And as you see, the door and drawer face or front takes up almost the entirety of the cabinet, and that really changes the look. It gives you a more defined, richer look and a more furniture look. Or the fact that when the cabinets are butted up against each other, it creates a sleek, very modern look if you want. This upgrade itself is a nice little touch. It does increase the cost, it is an upgrade, but how many doors and drawers do you really have? So it could be just a nominal effect on the whole project to get a full overlay door style. The next version of the theme that you may see some custom cabinet companies offering inset doors. This is a 3/8 inset. It's not completely flush, but it's a really nice look if you're going for the country, the arts and crafts styling in a home or a high-end look. Now the drawer box itself, as you see, reflects the same door as the door style, and that is also an upgrade. So you have your matching drawer head to your matching to match your door itself. Typically these guys, when you open them up, it's attached to a frame, and you have the option, it's most likely going to be knife hinge, so it's a full extension, 180-degree access. When you have your standard cabinets, it's only going to be about 110-degree access unless you opt for the knife hinge. Majority of your inset doors are going to have the knife hinge option. But again, totally different look, a nice option. Most companies will offer that as an upcharge, but there are some companies that there's no upcharge. It's just part of what they do because they're real custom cabinet companies, and they enjoy what they do, and they want you to have their full offerings. Okay, we're going to do Cabinet Doors 101. There are 3 basic groupings that most people see or will purchase for their home. The first one is your standard raised door panel. Again, solid wood door. You can get the center set or inset either solid wood or again a veneer panel for cost savings. Depending on your finish styles, if you're going to get it painted, stained, or glazed, will determine whether or not the entire door itself is going to be wood, and if it makes sense. Because a true wood cabinet will take stains differently than something that's a veneer or printed center panel for raised options. The next door style, as another most commonly seen, is again your recessed panel with the side rails being all wood. You do again have the option of all wood or a wood veneer or even a printed veneer on the interior for, again, more cost savings down the long and for overall budget. The third option is going to be your solid wood slab door front. This is typically a contemporary modern look. You can get it in solid wood, a melamine, or a veneer for cost savings, but a solid wood door is a nice feature to have, and some people, or with your lifestyle, depending on your look, this is going to turn different colors, it's going to dent, it's going to show some wear and tear. So if you're looking for something that's going to go rustic, or you want a particular look or feel, a solid wood panel is a great option. But if it's not in your budget, then you can always select a slab door with made of different materials. Speaking of slab doors, pretty cool, huh? This is a melamine slab. The substrate, or the actual material underneath the melamine, is going to be your MDF board, and the melamine sheets are glued on, kind of like your countertops, your laminate countertops. It allows you to do a different variety of looks for wood grains. You can go horizontal, or you can go vertical. The edges, most people are like, well, are the edges going to be durable? Nowadays, yes, they use much better woods, glues, and the substrate they use is the MDF board, so there's little to no expansion or contraction when it's sealed in. The edges where they meet, they now, instead of butting the joints together, they actually miter it and chamfer it when they glue. So again, a nice feature, nice and tight joints. You don't see the discoloration, because when you're dealing with melamine or a laminate style, it's just a top coat that is like 3/16 thick. This is a print that is applied. Let's say you want to go with a true wood, but a slab, but you don't want to play solid wood, and you want to stain it and get that look. It's not a industrial feel, it's a more natural product. You can literally get a veneer or a wood applied to an MDF board to create that look. A lot of quarter-stone oaks, like this one here, are going to be a veneer, or even a cherry veneer, or exotic wood that would normally be too expensive as a solid unit. You can get as a veneer sheet and applied and made to your cabinet specs when you go way custom. It's gorgeous, gives you the same feel of wood, but as far as durability, expansion and contraction, and denting, and those fabulous wood things that happen, you're not necessarily going to get the same thing with a veneered product. Let's say you're high use, on the go, and care and maintenance, you kind of want to set it and forget it. You don't want to think about how you're cleaning it or maintaining the product. The tried and true thermofoil door. Ease of cleanup, maintenance. It is literally a PVC piece or a vinyl that is heated to an intense level and glued down over top the MDF board to create that look. There are no seams. It's not your old school thermofoil or a laminate type. They now produce them with high quality top coats, or it doesn't turn like it used to, as far as yellowing or having the UV rays. It's all built in to that product. So you literally can wipe it off with soap and water and clean her up. Now, once you pick the door style that you like and how it applies to your family and needs, no two doors are really built alike. There's also some quality control and/or things to think about with regards to the pricing of a cabinet. This is what you consider a cope and style, where it is a rail and style here. The joints are butted together. Some companies will glue it and staple it on the back, and other companies are actually use mortise and tenon in the interior to seal it and glue it to give you a better, more durable product. So the expansion and contraction, it holds together, it doesn't split apart. I've had doors of a lower quality version come back because they just stapled it, and from somebody opening the door and pulling it down, literally ripped that joint open. You're probably going to find that in more of your stock companies versus your semi-custom or your custom companies, because they realize that a couple little features that adds a minute amount to the cost of the door over the long-term thinking of the job, it's well worth it, because they want something that's going to be in your home for more than 20 years. So you can get a rail and style, door style, that has interior-wise how it's built. It's going to have a little biscuit versus just stapled. The next version is, I think you can see it, a mitered door. Okay, A lot of people covet a miter door, and that's only because you can do a lot more profiling and detailing. A miter door tends to be a little bit more expensive than your rail and style type because of that option. And again, they do either stapled and glue, or they do mortise and tenon joining at these junctures. And depending on the cabinet company, stock, semi-custom, or custom, will basically determine their overall quality and durability of that particular piece. Now, if you look at this particular door, this is a custom door. The thickness of the wood, instead of being 3/4, is 7/8. The center panel itself is actual solid wood that they put in. They just did a little routing, little detail. If you look at the joinery of how this is put together, this is a solidly put together cabinet. It's going to be something that's a lifetime cabinet, high-end, high quality. There is a cost difference between this custom door versus a semi-custom door, and that's really where the quality lies. Okay, this little piece here is one of my favorite gems to pull out with regards to how cabinets are built. Some low-end cabinet companies will literally staple it from the back, and there is the centerpiece is either put on MDF board or it's a solid piece of wood that is routed and finished and painted. The insides, they do a little dado or rabbit joint. They paint the interior of it, and they slide the piece together. And these guys, if you were able to look closely, actually have little foam cushions inside. So for the expansion, contraction, there's no rattling. It's a nice and tight fit. So these are different quality issues on a semi-custom custom line versus a stock line. Cost, yes, but it really, again, adds probably 5 to 15% to the cost of the door itself. Overall scope of budget, it may not affect it too much. These are some things that you want to look into with regards to choice and selection of your cabinets. The most common upgrade is going to be adding some rollout trays to your base cabinets. This particular rollout tray is your standard rollout glide. It's not as tall, it's only about 2.5 inches deep. Has your standard runner system, which will hold about 50 pounds worth of weight. Nice option, doesn't break the bank, but if you're a true chef or know that you're going to utilize your base cabinet more as pantry storage, you may want to upgrade to the full extension Dovetail Deluxe Drawer Glide. This is rated for about 75 pounds, and it's much taller. It can hold soup cans, pots, and pans without flying off the back. Now, as you look at cabinetry, you can see that you're going to have your dovetail drawer glides, and it's going to be screwed and bolted in with regards to how sturdy your cabinet is and its full extension. But it's naked, so you can do whatever you want. You may know yourself that a double-tiered wood tray cutlery divider set is a nice organizational option and storage option. Again, an upgrade, it's a nicety, you're addressing some of your needs. Then you have the cutlery divider with the little cork bottom drawer that holds your knife sets. Fantastic for the chef and the family if you have some nice silverware and or cutlery items that you want to take care of and have a specific space or place in your kitchen. Over here we have a wider 2-tier drawer glide unit for organization. You have 4 drawers, double drawer, and 2 large drawers, which are ideal for pots and pans. We also have your dividers, so you can organize it according to the shapes and sizes and what you're actually putting inside of your drawer itself. Some people prefer the drawers over the rollout trays, just for the fact that everything's stuck in there and they can organize it accordingly. And it's one operation, as you see. Just open it and grab it versus having to open up a door and then roll out to get to your item. Now some, what I call the gingerbread or the accessories or amenities that really make or break a kitchen. As you look over this whole display here, you see that we've added some glass, a nice touch to keep within the style and the look. We added the cross wine cubbies. And if you see up here, we have your standard wall cabinet, which the interior is typically going to be a birch veneer versus the actual same wood on the outside. To have matching interior, that's going to be an upgrade. And we most likely, or most of the times, we do it when we do glass doors. The top, as you see, is we're addressing the molding issues and basically finishing touches and details that will make a kitchen look high-end. It's a relatively inexpensive option when you think about it. If you stick to a basic door style, you can really finish off and complete a look by just adding some molding. Also, when we talk about cabinets, when you have a long run like this, of solid cabinets, as you see, we have, this is recessed in, this is what you consider your negative space, and then it's pushed out with an open cabinet or glass, creating your positive space. You got positive and negative. It's got push and pull off the wall without making it look like a bank of lockers type look. With the handles, you can address different looks and styles, and just by changing them out from bronze to brushed nickel or a stainless steel will impact the overall styling and look of the cabinets. Let's see what else. Nowadays, people are looking to do a wider refrigerator, double door, French door style refrigerator, but it's a large unit. You can get Sub-Zeros that are recessed or which is considered cabinet depth, but they tend to be a little bit more expensive. A way to hide that is building a unit and pulling it out on the end and setting in a standard type refrigerator, creating a nook or a niche if you have that available space. So you're not breaking the bank by going with a truly custom appliance. You're using standard appliance sizes, but you're pulling the cabinets out, putting a panel on the side to create its own little space.
Well, that's it for today's program. I want to thank our guest Beth Reyeur for a very helpful presentation, and thank you, our viewers, for watching us today. Be sure to look for the second program in our series, Tile Design, Selection, and Installation, with our guest Sarah Jones. Design Build Style is a weekly half-hour consumer education television and webcast program which illustrates the design, construction, and decorating process for homeowners and businesses. Information presented on this program is also relevant to students of architecture, interior design, and construction technology.